Hi, everybody. Thanks for dropping into my YouTube channel. This practice is going to be a little bit more of a vigorous flow as we build up to a variation of dancer's pose. So you'll want to have a block handy for the beginning of the class. And we are being joined tonight by my very zen yoga puppy, Blue. He pops in every now and then. Let's see if he makes it through class or not. If you need to modify at any point during the class, please feel free to do so. And I'll offer some suggestions along the way. But let's get started. And you'll come to the center of your mat, taking your block. So you'll want it on the lowest level, and you're going to place it between your feet. So tops of the feet down onto the mat, snuggle the block in between your ankles, and then go ahead and just ease yourself down onto the block. If you have sensitive knees, shins, or ankles, you could always layer up with a blanket underneath. But try to get as comfortable as you can. If this position doesn't work at all for you, then please feel free to just sit in a simple cross-legged seat. We want to begin to start stretching out the quads because they'll play a big role in the flow tonight. And let's just bring our hands to rest comfortably on our lap. You can turn your palms up or down, depending on what feels good, or maybe even cup your palms together, let your thumbs touch in the Buddha's mudra here. And closing the eyes, just take a moment to let your energy kind of settle in. So you want to feel the weight of the body just yielding downwards towards the earth, feeling the support of the block below you, feeling the lift of your spine, the softening of your shoulders and the muscles all around your face. Letting the toes and the hands relax. And then just letting our energy begin to focus. So you want to bring your thoughts and your awareness to your breath and just notice the flow of the breath in and out through the nose. So our yogi breathing is generally in and out through the nose. Every now and then it feels really good to just do a good old audible exhale. But for our breath practice this evening, what we'll start out with is a 4-part breathing practice. And we'll want to do that with our mouth closed. So in and out through the nose. It's called box breathing. So what we're going to do is inhale for a count of 4. And once you reach the top of your count, you're going to hold the breath for a count of 4. And then we're going to exhale for a count of 4. And you're going to hold yourself empty at the bottom of that breath for a count of 4. So that's the box, doing a 4 count all the way around. Okay, so let's take a breath in together through the nose. This will be a cleansing breath. Fill yourself up, feeling the belly rise, the rib cage fill up, the lungs, drawing that breath all the way up. And let's open the mouth and then sigh that breath all the way out. And go ahead and close the mouth, sealing the lips. And let's inhale for a count of 4. So drop that breath down into the belly and then feel it rise up through the ribs all the way up to your collarbones. You're going to hold here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then exhale the breath out nice and slow, feeling your contraction. And at the very bottom, at the end of your 4 count, you're going to hold empty for 4, 3, 2, 1. And again, inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding at the top, contain your breath for 4, 3, 2, 1. And now exhale through the nose, feeling yourself empty out, lungs, ribs to belly. Pull the navel in and hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. And another round on your own. Inhaling for 4, Holding for 4. Exhaling for 4. Try to keep your shoulders relaxed, your spine tall. And holding empty at the bottom for 4. Last round, nice deep breath. Draw it all the way down to the belly. Bringing it up through the ribs, all the way up to the collarbones. Holding at the top for 4. Exhaling nice and slow for 4, emptying completely out. Squeezing navel to spine at the end. And then holding empty. Last count for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ease the eyes open and continue to breathe in and out through your nose. Just feel the breath expanding the body on the inhale and feeling the breath contracting the body on the exhale. So our breath is our bridge that unites our mind and our body. This is what makes yoga a yoga practice. We are bringing together the mind and the body, uniting it through the bridge of the breath, right? That's our thread that brings everything together. So try to keep a nice steady breath throughout this practice, especially when you find yourself in more challenging poses. Just pay attention and notice if you don't hold your breath or go into a funny kind of breathing pattern, right? The goal is to remain with this calm, centered breathing throughout the entire practice. Okay, let's shift into toad pose. So come up and off your block, and take it off to the side, and I'll come to an angle here. We're gonna tuck all 10 toes underneath us. Even that little pinky toe, you might need to move it out to the side so it'll get tucked under there. And you're gonna sit on top of your heels. So this is a big stretch for the soles of our feet, and we're activating our foundations. As we get older, this is really important to do because our feet tend to kind of almost atrophy and the muscles don't get stretched. So this is really, really helpful to us, especially as we age. So get as comfortable as you possibly can. If at any time you need to pop out and bring your feet flat onto the mat, please do so. Excuse me, and we'll interlace our hands right to the webbing. So you're gonna clasp all together and then start to circle your wrists in one direction, making a figure 8. So also working on the wrist foundation, which we use quite a bit of in yoga, as you know. And pressing into the toes and really stretching the arches of our feet. You're gonna go ahead and reverse the direction, taking that circle around in the opposite way. Beautiful. Hello, toes, I feel it too. Go ahead now and press your palms all the way forward as you straighten your arm bones. Relax the tops of the shoulders down, press through the heels of the hands, and then bring your arm bones up and overhead, still keeping those inner shoulders relaxed and down. Beautiful. Feeling those toes, press into them. You want to get as much stretch out of this as possible. And then separate the hands, let the palms face one another. Take a deep breath in as you reach up. On the exhale, you're going to twist from your belly to the right, opening up into a T shape as you drop your arms out from your side. Inhale, come back to center, arms overhead. Exhale that T shape to the other side, reaching out through the fingertips as you twist through your center. Back to center, inhale. One more time each side, open to the right, twisting belly, ribs, and shoulders. Inhale, sweep it back to center. And exhale, twisting to the left. Good, now inhale, come up onto your shins. You can untuck those toes. Finally, let them go a little bit. And on your exhale, the same twist, but this time up onto the shins. Lift up through the crown of the head, pull your tailbone down, pull your low belly in. Inhale, rise up through center, and exhale, twist open to the left. One more time each side, inhale, center, Exhale, twist, just really nice for our torso and our spine to do this twisting movement, rising up through center, and then opening to the left. Come back to center, both arms overhead, and then circle them down and to your hips. We're gonna lean back, engaging our quadriceps and our core. So keep your body upright, a little tuck of the tailbone and the pelvis, and lean back as far as you feel comfortable doing so. Getting that stretch in the tops of your quads, through the front of the legs, and in your core. Hold on here and breathe. Maybe a little smile. This is yoga. Feel that big stretch. Getting those quads warmed up and ready for later. Good, and release. Come on to all fours, please, and come into a tabletop position. And I'll invite you to turn your hands so that they face your kneecaps, getting a little more stretch into the wrist creases. So your knees are underneath your shoulders and your wrists are stacked underneath, or your knees are underneath your hips and your wrists are stacked underneath your shoulders. And we'll take a breath in as we lift the tailbone, soften the belly to the floor, and lift your gaze as you pull your heart through. On the exhale, start from the tailbone as you tuck and round, bringing the chin to the chest, press into your hands and spread your shoulder blades apart. Take that inhale from the tailbone, let it lift, belly softens, rib cage opens. Take your gaze forward, the crown of the head up. On the exhale, with control, round, starting with the tailbone, lifting the navel to the spine, and then chin to chest. And take a couple more like this, moving at your pace. This is a really nice sequence to just begin to sync up our breath and our movement. One movement per breath. An inhale takes you into cow pose as you open the heart. And the exhale takes you into cat pose as you round and flex open your back. Super healthy sequence for your spine. I would encourage everyone to do it at least once a day. And then with the wrist turned like this, you're getting a little bit of extra. All right. Coming back to neutral, we'll go ahead and turn the fingertips around. If you need to shake out your wrists to get a little movement in there, go right ahead, just nice and gentle. I have an obstacle at the back of my mat. Let's see how this is gonna work out. We're gonna send our right leg back. So as you stretch through your heel, roll that outer hip down so the front of the hip faces your mat. Flex your foot and press through your inner ankle and heel. You should feel your low belly engaged. In fact, front and back body are gonna work together pretty quickly here as we lift our left arm and reach forward. So try to keep your heel in line with your sit bones. You don't want it any higher than that, right? Just right in line with the sit bone. And then feel through the long line of energy that you're creating from your heel to your fingertips and fingertips to heel. Breathe into this beautiful shape, engage front and back body, pull your energy in towards center, and breathe. And smile, find a little sunshine here. Good, and then that left hand is gonna come down, you're gonna swing your right leg out to the side. Oh my goodness, and you will feel this. The challenge here is to try to keep your heel in line with your hip and to keep your weight evenly distributed between both hands. Do your best to keep it lifted, working that outer hip stabilizer. Oh yeah. Awesome, and then bring the foot all the way to the floor and press it into the mat or the floor, wherever you are. So I'll step back so you can actually see my foot. You want it grounded, the edge all the way grounded down. And we're gonna go ahead and bend into that knee, and we're gonna start to make hip circles. So you're gonna take your hips forward, back, and around in a big, juicy circle. And if you're like me, you might hear quite a bit of snap, crackling, and popping. So just let that happen. You're kind of moving the stale energy around in the body, working out the cobwebs, and you'll pause and reverse the direction. So try to make as big of a circle as you can as you rotate around. right? This doesn't need to look perfect. It needs to feel good. And that's all that really matters. Awesome. All right, come back to center. Keep that right leg extended and straight. Plant your left hand underneath your left shoulder and inhale as you twist open and lift the right. Ground down through your left hand, stack your wrist and your shoulders here. Look up at your top thumb. Feel the rotation right through the center of the body. Root down through the right foot. Take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, you're gonna thread your arm through and shift your hips back just slightly. And then you're gonna inhale and rise up. And the exhale, same thing. Thread through, shift back. Inhale as you rise and twist open. Exhale, take it back and thread. Good, last time, open up. And then that right hand comes down under the right shoulder. Swing your right foot back again. So keeping that leg extended, keeping the heel floating up in line with your hip. See if you can bend your back knee and then release the left arm back to grab your right foot. Catching the foot, press your foot into your hand, look forward and roll that left shoulder back. So getting a bit of a back bend here, getting a nice stretch through our quadricep. Press into your right hand, lift your chest. Try to square your chest to the top of your mat. And taking one more breath in here. As you exhale, the hand comes down and your right toes come to the mat, tuck them under. You're gonna press strongly into your right toes, so much so that you can lift your left knee off the mat. And then you're gonna bring your chest to your thigh, thigh to your chest. Press into your hands, tuck your chin to your chest, round and feel your core engage. Inhale, now send that left leg up to the sky, stretch it all the way back. As you exhale, maybe sink your right heel to the mat, coming into three-legged dog. Press firmly through both hands. Send your rib cage back to your thigh. Stretch out your legs. Woo! Good, big breath in. On the exhale, the left foot comes down to meet the right. Go ahead and find your downward facing dog here. Let's pedal out the legs if you'd like. Shake your head out, release and relax there. Any movement or stillness, whatever the body is calling for here. Wrap your tricep muscles in closer to your face. Hug your navel in and up. Press your heels towards the floor. Wrap your inner thighs back, in and back towards the back of the mat. Good, inhale, look forward, come up high on the toes. Follow me here as you exhale, come forward into plank pose and stay high on your toes. Press your hands into your mat. Feel the strength in the entire body here, all working together. And a little variation here on Cobra. As you inhale, drop your hips and pull your heart through. So we're staying high on the toes. Roll the shoulders down the back, squeeze your glutes. Take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, from your core, belly to spine, pull back into your downward facing dog. Beautiful, let's do that again. Inhale forward into plank. Stay here for the exhale. Inhale, let the hips melt, pull the heart through. And on the exhale, from your belly button, pull back. Downward facing dog. Good, one more time, same thing. Inhale forward. Stay for the exhale, press the mat away, resist gravity. Inhale, find your modified cobra as you pull your heart up. Let your hips melt, give your glutes a squeeze. And exhale, pull it back nice and strong from the belly. And taking a deep breath in here. Let's all open the mouth and let it go with a ha. Awesome. All right, flip those knees down to the ground. I'll flip around. We're going to do the same sequence on the other side. Finding tabletop position, square yourself off, and we'll send that left leg back. Lining up heel to hip, Wrapping that outer hip down, front of the hip facing the mat. Your inner thigh of your lifted leg is rolling up, actually. Feel the front body meet the back body, everything coming together into center, and then extend the right arm forward. Breathing deeply through this side, let the breath support you. Reaching out through your fingertips and back through your inner heel. Find some length here. Breathe. Beautiful. One more breath in. On the exhale, that right hand comes down and the left leg swings out to the side like a little propeller. Now, this side might feel completely different. I know it does for me. Try not to collapse into your right shoulder or arm and try to keep that left foot lifted. Feel the burn. Feel the shakes. Take one more breath in. Whoa. Exhale, let it land. All right, yay. Bend into that left knee and let's take those generous circles on this side. So think of this as kind of oiling up your joints, right? Especially the hips, the knees, the shoulders get a little juicy too. Let your head go, right? Maybe this side isn't quite as creaky as the other, and reverse the direction. I'll tell you what though, it'll build a little energy and heat in the body, that's for sure. Never a bad thing. Good, come back to stillness, rooting down that left foot. I'll scoot back so you can see. Right hand under the right shoulder, from your belly, twist your torso open to the left. Stack your shoulders if you can, look up at your top thumb. Lean back and open up your chest. Feel nice and broad across the collarbones, from wrist crease to wrist crease. Good, take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, you're gonna thread it through and shift your hips back, just a little bit or a lot of it, depending. Inhale, open wide, coming up. Exhale, threading through and taking it back. Again, inhale as you open. Exhale as you thread it through. Last time, inhale to open up. And on the exhale, that left hand comes down and the left foot swings back, hovering off the floor as we did before. Breathing into this side, taking the next step to bend the back knee and maybe release that right hand back to catch the foot. If you have a strap handy, you could also use that here, or you could just bend the knee and work the pose this way. Grab the foot if you can. If you do, press the foot into your hand. Roll your right shoulder back, square the chest to the top of the mat, and breathe into this side. Keep pressing the foot into the hand. Maybe the knee lifts a little higher. Breathing and stretching out that big quadricep. Good, and then right hand comes down, left toes come to the mat, tuck them under, nice and firm, so root down strongly, and then inhale, you're gonna lift your right knee off the mat, and as you exhale, you're gonna round and curl in. Bringing thigh to chest, chest to thigh. Push strongly into the hands. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, three-legged dog, that right leg stretches all the way back. Melt your shoulders down your back. Press your rib cage to your thighs. And see if you can press that left heel closer to the floor. Keep your right leg engaged, foot flexed. Take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, lower the right foot down to meet the left. Downward facing dog. Take any kind of movement, again, as you wish, or play with the pose. Breathe into it, trust your body, listen to it, do what your body says. Your body is your teacher. I'm just your guide. Let's inhale high on the toes, and as we exhale, come forward into plank pose, holding here. And then as you inhale, we're gonna sink the hips, lift the heart, that same modified flow. Exhale from the belly, pull it all the way back, find your downward facing dog. Let's do it again. Inhale forward to plank. Stay for the exhale. Find a little extra space between the shoulder blades. Inhale to lower the hips. Pull the heart through. On the exhale, take it back. Downward facing dog. One more time. Inhale, forward plank. Exhale, hold. Nice and strong, keeping the body firm. Inhale, melting the hips, lifting heart. And exhale, taking it back. Let a sigh go. Shake your head out. Tap into how your body's already starting to feel. That prana's moving through. We're sweeping out the cobwebs, replacing the dark areas with light areas, filling you up with some sunshine. Let's look forward at our hands. You can either rise up high on the toes, bend the knees and hop, or step your way to the top. Take a halfway lift when you arrive. Ardha Uttanasana. Nice flat back here. Navel's pulled in. Crown of the head reaching forward. Tailbone reaching back. Pull your shoulders away from your ears and engage the blades on your back. And take one more breath in. And on the exhale, let's fold. Soften the knees and dangle here in Uttanasana. Feet underneath the hips. Grab opposite elbows, any variation you'd like to take to just let that back body release and open up. For those of you with tight hamstrings, go ahead and bend the knees even more. Try to find some comfort here as we ask the body to open up. You can grab onto ankles or take your wrists behind you, grab opposite wrists, maybe fold in a little bit closer. Drawing your chest towards your thighs, tipping your weight into your toes just a little bit more. And then let's take a nice stretch for our IT band. So I'll turn to face you. We're going to bend into our left knee and place our left hand on the floor. The right leg is going to stay straight. And on a breath in, you're going to twist open to the right, lifting that right arm. So press down from the top of your right hip all the way down through your right heel. Try to straighten that leg as much as possible. And really acknowledge the engagement of that big muscle, right? The hip stabilizing muscle. Really nice stretch here for that IT band. Breathe into it. On the exhale, you're going to fold forward. Let both knees go soft. And then switch sides, right hand in front of right foot, bend the right knee, keep the left leg straight as you twist open to the left. Maybe you can take your gaze up to your thumb here. Press firmly down from the top of your left hip through the heel of the left foot. Rotate from your belly, wrap your right ribs under. One more breath in. And exhale to fold it on down. Take a halfway lift once again, nice straight spine. Exhale to fold and inhale to rise as you push into your feet. Take your arms with you up and overhead. Let your palms meet. And then on the exhale, we're going to take it back into a tiny back bend. So any amount here that feels good for you for back bending. If you can, take your gaze up. Press the hips forward, tuck the tailbone slightly, and lift through the front of the body. Reaching back. Take a nice deep breath in. And on your exhale, you're going to fold all the way down. Knees are soft. Halfway lift here. And then stepping back to plank pose. One foot and then the other. Arriving in your plank nice and strong. This beautiful angle from your shoulders to your hips to your heels. Body is firm and zipped up. Inhale to rock forward on your toes and exhale to lower all the way to the belly, taking your arms back behind you and untucking your toes. Find a clasp of your hands or maybe your elbows if the clasp of the hands doesn't work. And stretch enough so that you begin to feel your chest up and off the mat, squeezing your shoulder blades together. Now lift your legs and just come to float. Shalabhasana, locust pose. Feel the Broad opening across the front of your chest. Gaze slightly forward past the top of your mat. Engage your toes, spread them all. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale to lower it down. Ha. Hands come alongside of the rib cage. Let's press back to child's pose. Bringing your hips to your heels, ground your forehead. And please give yourself permission to come to this pose whenever you need to. Always good to check in with the quality of your breath. Notice where you may be holding tension or even resistance in your mind. Breathe it in and breathe it out. Good, and as you're ready, let's make our way to downward facing dog, lifting those hips up and back, finding this beautiful inverted V shape with your hips the apex of the shape. Reaching them up high, tailbone high, pressing through the heels and into the hands. Let's lift the right leg up. We're gonna go ahead and bend that knee and open the hip. So as you root down evenly through the hands and you keep your shoulders square, you should feel this nice stretch along the right side of the body. Maybe roll your right ankle out, maybe roll your right knee out. Kind of play around with it, see what the body needs. Get into your body through your mind and let your breath be the bridge. Good. Come to stillness wherever you are. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to step your foot up to your right thumb. Staying on the ball of the back foot, back knee is lifted. Maybe widen your stance if you feel like you're on train tracks. Maybe go broader there. And as you feel steady, see if you can lift your fingertips back behind you, airplane wings here. Chest is pulled up and away from the front thigh, grounding strongly through your legs, pushing into that right heel, firming up your back straight leg. On your next breath in, see if you can rise up into high lunge, arms come up and overhead. Readjust as you may need to. Check in with that front knee and make sure it's stacking right over the ankle. Try to straighten the back leg as much as you can. Square the hips and the chest towards the top of the mat. Soften the inner shoulders and breathe as you sparkle your fingertips up to the sky. Moving into a balancing pose here, just flow with me. As you inhale, you're going to pull that left knee forward and up, coming to stand on your right leg. Let's find tree pose as we bring the sole of the foot to the inside of the left, or the right leg, excuse me, anywhere along the inseam of that right leg, and I'll turn to face you. So it could be here, it could be further down. You want to avoid your knee joint, it could be down here somewhere. But taking this standing hip opening pose, draw your left knee out and away from you. Press the sole of the foot and the thigh into one another actively. Hands can come to prayer, or maybe they even release overhead, or any other variation that suits you tonight. Really root down through your standing leg, engage your core. Whoop. Don't worry if you fall out. It's always good to see your teacher fall out, right? We all fall. These are our teachers, these moments when we have to adjust and modify. It's all part of the beauty of the practice. Woo. All right, we're going to transition now as we release the left foot. Go ahead and bend the knee and bring that left heel towards your bum. Grab it with your left hand and then draw the knee in alongside the right. Now maybe your right hand comes back and meet your left foot as well. If you can do this, just stay here, wrap your shoulders back, open up the front of your chest, enjoy this deep quad stretch. If you feel like going further, find a focal point out in front of you and press your left foot away and start to hinge from the hips, maybe drawing the chest slightly forward, lifting that left foot up. Dancer's pose variation here. Squeezing your shoulder blades together as you go. Good. Stay steady with breath and with focus. And then inhale, rise up. Release your grip. On the exhale, you're going to step that left foot all the way back behind you. Spin the heel down and open into a warrior two pose. I know that was a lot and it was not well executed on my part, but you guys got the gist of it. We're going to bend into the front knee, take a peek, make sure your heel lines up with the arch of the back foot, and feel the hip opening action in this pose. Standing, opening, we're facing the long side of the mat. Our arms are an extension from our heart. You can take your gaze out past your front middle finger, or even look to the side, whatever feels good with your neck. Soften the tops of the shoulders, lift from the front body up, and then let energy from the back body descend down. Try to stack your shoulders right over your hips. So we're not here in the pose or back here, but we're grounded and right in the center. Breathe in. On the breath out, can you go a little deeper? Let's inhale to reverse our warrior. So reach it all the way back as you stay deeply bent into that front knee. Stretch open your right ribs. And then on the exhale, find forearm to thigh for extended side angle. Really enjoy the stretch along the entire left side of the body here. Lean your head back a little bit more. Root firmly through your back foot. Reach out past your left fingertips. Good, let's take one more reverse. So inhale, stay bent in that front knee. I know. On the exhale, cartwheel down inside your right foot and spin onto the toes of your left foot on the back. Heel toe your right foot over to the far side of your mat. Maybe even angle the toes out a little bit. And then you can keep your back knee lifted or lower it down for lizard pose. So another big hip opening pose here. You're welcome to stay upright and just kind of breathe into the sensations here. Or maybe take a block or come on down to the forearms. Big right hip stretch. Be with your breath. Try to be in a place of acceptance, not resistance. Whatever you may be feeling, try to think of it as an opportunity to learn about your body. Now's a really good time to tap into your breath, work with your breath, feel it out. Flood the breath wherever the body is calling for it. Good. And let's slowly come up onto our hands. If your back knee was down, let's tuck the toes, float it back up. And then from this position, you're just going to stretch your hips back and you're going to get a big stretch as you straighten both legs. So you can angle the right toes towards your right shin if you'd like. Pull your right hip crease back and fold over your thigh. Breathe into your hamstring, your hip crease, any part of your body that's calling out. Alternatively, you can plug that right big toe down into the mat, press into it, and get a good stretch across the front of your ankle and foot. One more breath in. On the exhale, let's rebend into the knee. Hands come inside, step back, find plank pose, and then take a vinyasa if you would like. Inhale to rock forward onto the toes. Exhale either all the way to the belly or halfway down. Inhale, finding upward facing dog or cobra if you're on your belly. And then exhaling, rolling over the toes, lifting the hips, downward facing dog. We're back. Reconnect with your breath. Try to come back to a beginner's mind, right? Not really projecting where you're going with this. Just breathe and take it one breath, one pose at a time. Let's initiate the left side. Left leg will lift, bend the knee and open the hip. So notice that I didn't roll all the way open. I'm squaring my shoulders, pressing evenly through my hands, just letting the knee lift up and letting that left heel travel to the right side. Roll out the ankle perhaps, or even take those big knee circles. Get nice and juicy here, whatever feels good. It's your opportunity to be the teacher, to play, to listen to your body. This side might require something different, so be open to that. Find your stillness, breathe in. On the exhale, big step forward, foot up by the left thumb. Adjust your feet, go wider if you need to. Stack your left knee over your left ankle. And then start to come up, bringing the arms back behind you into that airplane pose. So your chest is at a diagonal. You're pressing back through your right heel. You're really rooting through your left heel. Right leg, back leg nice and strong, chest nice and open, shoulder blades squeeze on the back. As you breathe in, lift the arms up. And as you breathe out, sink into your high lunge, Anjaneyasana. Stacking left knee over left ankle, high on the toes, pressing into the ball of the right foot, and that right heel lifted. Relax those inner shoulders, get strong here. And then transitioning into our balancing pose. Push off your back toes and float your right knee forward and up. Ground for a moment, and then find your way into tree pose on this side. So take whatever variation feels good on this side. It can be totally different. There's also a half lotus variation where you bring your foot up to your left hip crease. The sole of the foot is facing up to the sky. If you have that in your practice, you're welcome to take it now. Rooting down strongly through your standing leg. Find your core and find your drishti, your focal point, your gaze. Find a smile too. It's yoga. All right, guys. Let's transition into that modified dancer's pose. So you're going to release the right foot, bring the right heel to your right bum, and reach back with right hand and maybe left hand. This may be where you land, pulling that right knee in to line up with the left. Just appreciating this nice stretch of the quad. Yours might not look like mine. Appreciate that too. We all have beautiful different bodies. If you can do this and you think you can go deeper, try to press your foot into your hands, begin to tilt forward. Wrap your shoulders back, maybe kick the shin away from you a little bit more. Maybe the arms straighten a little bit more. Just play around with it. It doesn't have to look perfect, right? But keep your focal point, amp up your breath. Awesome. All right, let's come back upright. Release the foot, arms overhead, and a big step back. Ground that heel down and find warrior two pose. I ran out of mat over there. So I'm back with you guys. Warrior two with the left leg forward, left knee bent, left knee over left ankle. Again, you want your torso to float right above your hips, right in that center position. Let your tailbone drop, let your heart lift, and then reach out through your fingertips as you relax the tops of the shoulders, getting strong in your legs. Gaze can be forward or to the side, whatever feels good. Feel strong, feel grounded. And let's inhale together as we reverse, stretching open our left side body, keeping everything else the same so the foundation doesn't move. On the exhale, forearm to thigh for extended side angle. We'll stay here for a few breaths. Try to find that connection from the outer edge of your right foot all the way out through your right fingertips. And really appreciate, begin to understand this angle, right, that we're stretching here of the body. So beautiful. Lean back a little bit more. Look up if you can. And then inhale, let's reverse. I know that front leg wants to move. On the exhale, cartwheel down inside of your left foot and heel to the left foot all the way to the left. Pivot onto the ball of the right foot. Lizard pose on this side. Back knee can be lifted or grounded, your choice. Maybe those left toes angle off the mat a little bit. Options to stay upright, just feeling the stretch. Block might be handy. You can bring the forearms down onto the block. Or if you have the accessibility, come all the way down. Close your eyes and just let yourself get right into your body on this side. Right, get into your yogi thoughts and be with your body, noticing what's happening over here in the land of the left. For some of you, it's your dominant side. For most of us, it's probably not. Maybe you have more range of motion here. Just without any judgment, take notes, be curious, feel it out. And let something go as you breathe into it, right? Think of it as your job to kind of sweep something away from whatever is kind of junking everything up in there. That's what happens. They call the hips the junk drawer of the body. All right, hands to the mat, lift yourself upright. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and go ahead and straighten both legs as you press your hips back. So those left toes can maybe angle back towards your shin if you get that little extra juicy stretch in the hamstring, or you can ground the big toe, push into it fairly strongly, and you'll feel the stretch across the front of the foot. Bowing in, breathing, feel the burn, feel the wiggles, feel the shakes. I definitely have it going on, but it feels good. And breathe, move that prana through you. Right, let's burn some of that stale stuff off. One more breath in. On the exhale, bend into the knee, walk your hands together. So the thumbs are gonna kind of come close to each other, right in the center of the mat. You're gonna push off your right toes and land your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Ease the hips down, bring your elbows inside of your knees as you come into Malasana pose. So this is our yogi squat. If the block is handy and you need a little assist, go ahead and bring it underneath your bum, right? This works too. Just begin to wedge the knees open and wider as you press your elbows into them. Drop your tailbone down, let your low back decompress. And as you push your hands together, lift your heart up to your thumbs. Breathe into this pretty intense pose, but try to enjoy it. Your hips are thanking you. Definitely, definitely thanking you. It may not feel like it, but they are. Keep a smile on your face. Keep an intention to your breath as you breathe easily, steadily, intentionally. Beautiful. Any variation you might want to take, maybe lift your arms overhead for a little extra. Oh yeah. One more breath in. And on the exhale, let's take the hands back behind us, lower the sit bones down. Bring your feet as wide as your mat, and let's just windshield wiper from one side to the next. Try to let that knee drop all the way down to the mat. Oh yeah, should feel pretty good. And then we'll come back to center, line up your heels with your sit bones. Take your hands back behind you with your fingertips facing your sit bones. Wrap your shoulder blades onto your back so you're engaging your back body, and then push into hands and feet, come into a reverse tabletop. We're gonna stretch out those contracted hip muscles. You can look forward or maybe drop your head back. Breathe into the front of the chest, roll your inner thighs down, pull your tailbone towards the back of your knees. One more breath in, and then exhale, lower yourself down. Woo. All right, gang. Let's come all the way down onto our backs. Give yourself an opportunity to stretch your body out fully. So full body stretch here. Reaching long through the fingertips and toes. Relaxing your shoulders. And then go ahead and draw the knees up into a tabletop position. I'll turn this way so you can see what I'm doing. We're gonna wrap the right knee over the left. And then you're gonna reach up, you're gonna grab your ankles. Try to keep your feet nice and relaxed. Lower yourself down, and then you're gonna pull your ankles towards the outer edges of your body and down towards you. This is a big outer hip stretch. Gomukhasana on our backs. Keep your feet active and your toes spread. Engage your arms, you're really pulling down here. This is pretty intense, so any level of this that feels right for you, just go with that. Breathing into that outer hip. One more breath in. On the exhale, let's release. Just go ahead and flutter the legs a little bit. Let the blood come back in. And then taking that on the other side, cross left over right. Roll yourself up so you can reach for your ankles or your shins. And then lowering the head and chest back down, you're gonna pull on those ankles, drawing them up, down, and back towards you. So this just should feel pretty engaged. Your feet are flexed, your toes are spread. My arms are working pretty hard as I keep drawing the ankles up, in, and down. Woo, yeah. Breathe through this. Good medicine as we open up the hip joints. One more breath in. And then exhale to release. Go ahead and flutter the legs one more time. Nice. And then keep your legs in a tabletop position overhead. Glue the shins and the ankles together. Bring your arms out to a T with the palms faced up. Take a breath in, and on the exhale, just let both knees drop to the right. Right hand will come to the top of that left thigh. Ground your left shoulder and turn your gaze to the left. Enjoying this spinal twist. Option to extend your left leg long and press through the left heel if you want to go there. Just feel this beautiful release of the muscles along the spine. Up into the neck. If you have your gaze turned to the left. And rebending the knee if it was straight. Releasing your bind and then using your core muscles to bring the knees back to center. Take a deep breath in. On the exhale, off to the other side. And then grounding that right shoulder as the left hand presses the right thigh down. Turn your gaze if that feels good on this side. Maybe extend your right leg. Begin to let your breath slow down. Close the eyes and maybe travel inward a little bit. Nothing quite like a spinal twist to just help you release all the stuff of the day. Good. Let's slowly unwind. Bring your gaze back to center first. And then draw yourself back to center and give yourself a good hug, wrapping your arms around your shins, pull your nose to your knees and get into a nice little ball. Feeling this beautiful shape. Take a deep breath in. On the exhale, let's extend all the way open and come into our final resting pose, Shavasana. This is what we all come to yoga for, that sense of relaxation and integration. You may want to take a moment to lift your sit bones and tuck your tailbone a little bit, re-grounding it with a little more space in the low back. Maybe try the same with the shoulders. Press into the back of the head as you lift your shoulders off the mat and walk them further away from one another. See if you can't gain a little more space there. Turn your palms wide open. Let your feet flop open, relaxing. And let's all take a cleansing breath in. Big breath in through the nose. And then open mouth, exhale it all the way out. And just feel your body drop into the mat. Maybe you want to keep a little part between your lips as you keep your jaw nice and soft. Try to relax the area around your temples and your eyes. Softening the mouth and the cheeks. Letting your neck relax and the tops of the shoulders. Feel the front of the shoulders all the way out through the arms to the fingertips. Get nice and soft. Grounding your elbows and the backs of your hands. Let your shoulder blades and your spine just melt towards the earth. Feel the weight of your pelvis, the weight of your thigh bones, hips. Feel your calves, your ankles, your toes. And just send a little signal to your body to let go. Let your breath just breathe through you. By now, there's no modification or effort on your part. We simply get to be. Let that notion just wash over you and do your best to come into that place. Present moment, not past, not future, just right here in Shavasana on our mats. You are welcome to stay here as long as you would like. For the rest of us, let's begin to move our fingers and toes. Keeping the eyes closed, gently bring one knee into the chest and then the other. Come back into that little ball shape. Roll off to one side in a fetal position. Cradle your head for a moment and think of someone or something you love. Just fill yourself with that beautiful feeling of joy, love, gratitude. And then rising up, taking that beautiful sensation with you. We'll find a seat, sitting nice and tall. Closing the practice with our hands in front of our heart. Closing our eyes. Press your thumbs into your chest and let your fingers radiate away from them like the rays of sunshine. Notice if you don't feel that inner glow, right? The power of our practice, the cleansing nature of our breath, uniting mind and body through the bridge of the breath. Give yourself a pat on the back for showing up tonight. And as we open our eyes, let's bring our thumbs to third eye center and bow to one another as we say namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you found your inner sunshine tonight, or whatever time of day it is as you're watching this. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the mat for future sunshine sessions. Namaste, everybody. Thank you.